Why, hello there, Nice Tale here, bringing you a summary of a knife that I have done a full review on. The full review will be linked down below. And before we get any further, I do hope you're having a good day. And if you would like to help me have a slightly better day, I would appreciate a like, subscribe, and share my videos. Share, hey, spread the word, right? That'd be greatly appreciated. It would help the channel, and who knows? Maybe I'll become a slightly larger channel for it. I don't know what else to say. What are we looking at here? We're looking at the Sharp by Design Derecho. This is Derecho. Yes, it's weird. It's a weather system, as most Sharp by Designs are. Hence, Chicane, also a weather system. Tempest, Typhoon. That's his motif. Brian Nadeau is a custom knife maker out of New Jersey, making some of what appear, in my opinion, to be some of the best custom knives coming out of possibly the U.S. I'm a big fan. I have a bunch of his knives. If you've seen the channel before, or you just look back in past videos, you're going to see several several of his models. I really would love to get a custom someday, but until then, I'm making do. This is a very dramatic knife. This is probably the most dramatic knife of all the knives that he has made, with this extremely aggressive hawksbill knife at 3 3/4 inches and 8.5 overall. More specs and everything will be in the actual full review. As I said, this is a summary. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at, does it actually say it anywhere on here? I'm pretty sure this is M390. I think there was one model he did S90V on, or one or two, but I'm pretty sure this is M390 if I remember correctly. This has been a while, and I'm not looking everything up right now because summary, don't need to do that. It is extremely thin, hollow ground, hawksbill blade shape. Super great for capturing, super great for tip work. Yeah, this is a nasty cutting knife. It's got a decent blade stock despite being that thin. Riot made, as is all Sharp by Designs. It's on bearings. It's a flipper with, in this case, a fuller that is 100% usable. Beautiful, beautiful blade. Beautiful finish. Multi-tone finish with this flat, which has the tiniest little bit of like horizontal satin with vertical on the blade, and the swedge is satin, but this in here is like blasted for the inside of the fuller. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got a relatively low profile, but still very sort of iconic looking flipper tab. He likes these sort of squared off but flared flipper tabs. They almost look like, especially on other models. This one's a little bit chubbier, but they have a sort of, I don't know why they just say something like a Japanese motif to me. I don't know why they do, but they do. The plunge grind does come pretty close to the edge here, though it is very hard to tell with the hollow grind. Like, the main part of the plunge seems to drop down, but it does still seem to drop down a little bit, maybe. It might just be height. So, it's fine. It's fine. If you ever need to cut an inch oil, if you find that you're getting a smile, the stop pin is way up there. That's one of the benefits that most flipper tabs enjoy. They keep the stop pin away from the edge termination. The only mark on this knife is the Brian Nadeau logo right there, Sharp by Design. As is most of the case with his knives, he has a captured 6-gun pivot. This one is in a blasted frame with standard carbon fiber inlays, executed just insanely well. If you look really close, I don't even know if it's going to come up. Yeah, you can see just a little bit of micro milling that actually runs over the entire thing. It's super minor, super fine. It doesn't really provide any traction, but it's a nice little touch. Fine details, right? The whole thing is contoured. It is kind of a clamshell construction. Sharp by Design typically does clamshell constructions where the two scales join to meet each other, so there's no backspacer. This one only meets right there. So it's the pivot and this screw. That's what's holding this entire knife together. That by itself is kind of cool. I just like that. I love the clamshell constructions on these things. The tip is right there, yet it is well designed enough that despite that horrifyingly thin, sharp, pointy tip, you can't touch it. Excellent, excellent consideration right there. Thank you, sir. It's like you can just almost touch it, but you can't get there. The clip is not reversible, so sorry, lefties. These things, Short by Designs, I don't know if any of them are lefty friendly. One of the big sellers of the Sharp by Design knives and a hallmark of Brian Doe is his unique detent system. As you can see, there's a like almost a kind of triangular, rounded teardrop-shaped nub in there. That is the detent, and it creates a very, very clicky detent that provides a surprisingly good amount of heavy resistance, but isn't really all that heavy at the same time. He puts it on all of his models, and it's really, really, really good. It creates an extremely consistent sound and feeling detent across them, and it feels completely different than any knife that has any other kind of detent. If you haven't experienced one, it's worth checking out, even just to experience that one, if you can get one in hand and feel it. It's cool, it sounds good, it's great. I didn't mention, but there is a tiny bit of poon up there, which is always fun. The pocket clip is the one thing I think Sharp by Design knives, I know this is sacrilege, and I can't believe I'm saying it, because I love these knives, and I have like 8 of them. But, not this particular model, but across the board. And I'm 100% down to getting pretty much all the others that come out. I do think his pocket clips could be improved just a bit. Everything here is so chamfered. It's not even chamfered, it's just straight rounded. It's contoured and rounded, and that's consistent throughout his knives, but the edges on the pocket clip are always hard edges. They're not uncomfortable most of the time. There is one knife model that is kind of uncomfortable, but yeah, I wish this was rounded, and overall, I found that these clips are a little bit thick for their what's the word? I can't think of the word, but the cut that's made and how thin it is for the tension, they oftentimes have a little bit more tension than you really want them to. They work because they're a continuous rise, they're well designed, etc., etc., but I have noticed that they don't have quite as much flex, and sometimes they can be really, really tight. This one is actually on the better side, and better design. This one actually feels really quite good in the hand, almost disappearing. But a slight little update to some of the clip styles that he does would be appreciated, I think. However, this is still great. It's phenomenal. It really is. It's an expensive knife. These things usually come in $350s to $400s, and then there's the Damasteel or something variants that oftentimes come in higher. However, these knives are extra. They are simple, they are straightforward, they are efficient, good knives with clean aesthetics and design, but they really are above and beyond what you normally see at like the $250 to $300 price range. And I think they kind of make a good case for their pricing. Riot's execution here is amazing, and Brian Nadeau gets some of the... I mean, Riot is a great manufacturer, and Brian Nadeau consistently gets possibly some of the best quality and results out of Riot, and consistency. They feel the same. A lot of the knives feel very, very good. They're very, very precise. The tolerances are amazing. It's got not quite drop shut, but very nice, super smooth shake shut action. And just the finer details, the inlay work and everything, it's all there. It really is. This is the whole package. And this is great. The ergos, fantastic. The depth, I mean, they're not deep carry knives, but they still get pretty deep for that. And there is a little bit of a bump right here, so the purchase and pulling it out of the pocket's actually surprisingly easy. You don't want to go up here because then you're going to be pushing into it. So you have to grab back here. But thankfully, there is a little bit of a bump there, so it does make it easier there. The final thing I want to mention is the lock bar insert. I like the way that he does the lock bar insert. It's not only making contact, but it sits protruding. So what you're actually interacting with for the lock bar, which you have great access to, by the way, is the lock bar insert itself and not the piece of material that has gotten the real leaf cut. It's a nice touch. It's interesting. It allows him to create a very, symmetrical design, then have a little bit that sticks out, that he sticks on after the fact. And, of course, if you ever need to replace that, say you hit this, or I don't know what could... I've never had to replace a lock bar insert, but if you do, you're sort of getting your entire interface, which is it's a nice touch. So, that is the Shop by Design Derecho summary, pretty much done here. I love these things. I love the models. I love the designs. And this one is just... This one's fun, but surprisingly useful. Like, it cuts. It is wicked. Wicked thing. So, also, good jimping. Gotta say that. Good jimping. Love when we can say that. Gonna end things here. Gonna. Yeah, okay. I'm ending things here. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you later.